What's up, dude? Hello. Whoa. Whoops. Sorry, I touched my mic. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I'm wearing, actually, this is my mom's hat and my old sweatshirt because I was up and washing some cars today and I'm just still very kind of gross from that. So I didn't want to change into like my nice cozy clothes. So unfortunately, I'm a little grubby looking. But today's case is an interesting one, so let's just hop right into it. Trigger warning, this video is going to talk about a murder-suicide. So if that is something that is a trigger for you, to fully feel free to just skip this video. On January 25th, the West Manchester Township Police Department responded to a welfare check at a home in York, Pennsylvania. A neighbor to the home informed police that they heard 3 gunshots go off, one right after another just before midnight. And when the police arrived to the home, in the backyard were the bodies of Morgan Daub, 26 years old, and her parents, James and Deborah Daub. James is 62 and Deborah is 59. The cops found multiple written documents explaining how they came to their decision to end their lives together. According to their documentation, Deborah and Morgan had originally planned to kill themselves together but leave James behind. In a note that was written in April 2022, Deborah wrote that Morgan chose the date to commit suicide on a Bible verse in which 2 parents give their child back to God. Samuel 1:24 through 28. Morgan chose the date. I believe I have to be with her, was the note that Deborah had written. That's a quotation from her. Deborah also wrote about the evil that the family and Morgan faced, but the police say that she didn't go into any great detail, so we don't know what evil she's referencing. The rest of the letter that Deborah wrote seemed to have been directed at God or at James. This is a direct quote as well. The rest of the letter seems to be directed to or about God and to her husband, James Daub. The letter reads as if she expects James to survive them after their passing, according to the police. According to a letter that was left by James, he wasn't originally part of the pact, but then decided to join in after he heard that Deborah and Morgan were planning on leaving him behind. This is a direct quote. He was crushed when Morgan told us that she must end her life, police said of James's letter. In the early parts of the letter, James says that he is not ready to end his life, but by the end of the letter, it is evident that he had then decided to do so. The 3 left additional notes that they died at one another's hands. Direct quote. With only 2 guns and me being shaky, my wife Debbie pulled the trigger for me, James wrote. I was too shaky, so my daughter pulled the trigger for me, Deborah wrote. Morgan was found with earmuffs on and did not leave a note, but the police determined that she had shot herself. It was a suicide on her part. The bodies were found with gunshot wounds straight to the head and were arranged in a straight line starting just a few feet from the porch and extending south. The police say that there were no signs of forced entry or a struggle. They also say that there wasn't any signs of anybody else being present. It was purely the 3 of them in the family, just them 3. According to the police, Morgan had left an extensive checklist that contained preparatory steps before taking her own life, including speaking to her dad, clipping the dog's nails, letters to the family, etc. Which letters to the family, you see that not all the time, but a fair amount with suicide cases. Instructions were even left for their living family, even for how to take care of their dog. That's one thing. Literally, my dogs are my just biggest joys kind of in my life. It sounds so corny, but I love my dogs so much, and the fact that they wouldn't know why I wasn't there, why I wasn't coming back for them, just would send me I just could not handle that. I couldn't handle doing that to them, which is I know they're dogs, but still I love them so much. The community that the family lived in were shocked, as the family were known as quiet, devout Christians. Morgan was described as a reserved girl who loved to go bowling with her mom. The Dobbs were never shy about letting anybody know what their beliefs were when it came to religion and politics. Brett Stabley, who operates the pro shop at the Bowler Supply in the town, so Debbie and Morgan would have gone there to get their bowling equipment and to get it repaired and whatnot. But he told NBC News that Morgan didn't have a lot of words to say, Brett continued. He believed that Morgan was homeschooled and her mom often spoke for her. Yet he said that Morgan was very meek and quiet, but that she was also very bright. They were just so hell-bent on Trump winning, like this could be the end if he doesn't, Stabley said, referring to an instance when he saw them just before the 2020 election. He said he stopped seeing the two after that, according to NBCnews.com. The investigation into the family's deaths have been closed. It was, in fact, a murder-suicide, unfortunately. Now, there are a lot of quotes, like, from neighbors saying that they were so religious and whatnot, and they almost, like, make it seem like that played a part in it, which I guess it, to some degree, did, if that's how Morgan chose the date. But I just don't feel like it's fair to pin that solely on their deaths. I don't know. I just felt like that was kind of icky, and a lot of stories that I read, that was like a third of the article was talking about their religious beliefs. And I don't know. I mean, unless the letter said that they were doing it purely for religious beliefs, I feel like it's, maybe don't make that assumption. That's just my thoughts, but I am curious to see what you guys think about this case. So please be sure to leave a comment down below, but remember, this is a real family. They do have family members, so, like, let's just, keep it respectful. But other than that, that's it for me. Make sure to like and subscribe, and come back tomorrow at 7 a.m. for another True Crime Courier video. Bye, guys.